Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the worst books of 2019. That's right, I'm going to spill some tea. Coming in at number 10 is The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvis Graves. I didn't like this book at all. I didn't like the storyline. I didn't like the plot twist. I didn't like the characters. I understand that there was really good mental illness rep in this story. That's about the only thing that I can appreciate. I just didn't like the story. I hated the plot twist. I felt like, it wasn't much of a plot twist. I figured out what was going to happen from like the very beginning. But it was just so stupid. I really did not like this book. I did not connect with these characters at all. And it apparently most other people feel it the same way that I do. This book should not have been on the 2019 Goodreads romance list. It was just not good. The next series on my list, coming in at number 9, is the Elements of Chemistry series by Penny Reed. I didn't enjoy this series at all. I read 2 out of the 3. I didn't even finish it because it was that bad. It's following the same couple. The plot twists were stupid. The characters I did not like. I found them both super annoying and petty and just ridiculous. I just did not enjoy this series at all. I didn't like the writing style. I didn't like anything by it. Coming in at number 8 is We Could Write This Shit by B.A. Luden. This is supposed to be about hilariously bad sex scenes. And I thought that would be really funny to read about. I thought that that was a really neat title for a book. I was thinking it was going to be about like words like moist and, like disgusting things that you don't want to hear about in a book. Like, to me, the worst word whenever it comes to sex scenes is moist folds. Grosses me out so bad. So I thought it would be like silly stuff like that. But this book was like bestiality. Like, it wasn't funny. It was very bizarre. And I just found myself like grossed out by it. It crossed so many lines that I didn't appreciate it. Number 7 is actually going to be an entire author. That's really bad of me to say, but Kendall Ryan, and I don't like her. I don't know. These books just don't seem that well thought out. The characters are half developed. The storylines aren't that great. They're not unique in the least. It's like she follows a certain thing that happens. It's like 80%, there's going to be a conflict. The couple is always going to have some kind of a taboo thing about them. It's just, I've read multiple books by this author. I own multiple books that I haven't even read yet by this author. And I don't know if I want to read them at this point. Every single book that I've read by her has been 3 stars or under. I don't know. I feel like she's putting out so much content and the quality of the content is not there. Coming in at number 6 is Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winfrey. This book had the potential to be so cute. It had the meet cute. It had the little rom-com thing in it. It was literally all about movies and having an actor in it. Those are all things that I truly love in books. This book was just over the top, cheesy. The plot line, it was outrageous. I didn't like it. It had a really neat plot line. The execution was not very well done, and I don't recommend it. Coming in at number 5 is Lessons in Corruption by Gianna Darling. I read this book because Peace Love Books was having a little book club, and that was the first book, and I was super excited because I'd heard such good things about this book. This book cringed me out. The main guy is 18 years old, and he has a thing for his teacher, and he's the son of a motorcycle club mascot, whatever, main guy, president, that's the word I'm looking for. And he kept calling her the same thing over and over again, and I think it was like baby girl or something. And he was immature, as he should be because he's 18, but it was just over the top gross. And then I started thinking about it in like a 20-something-year-old woman, 28, 29-year-old woman with like an 18-year-old kid, and it grossed me out. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be other books where the guy's younger. I don't know. That kind of grosses me out. And that sounds so bad, because if it's like an older guy with a girl, that sounds so horrible, because I don't mind it as much if the woman is younger. And that just sounds terrible, doesn't it? But I really don't. If it's a girl that's younger, for some reason, I'm okay with it. But I guess because the girls are mature so much older, like, so they act like they're 25 and not 18, whereas the guys that are 18 act like they're like 14, if you know what I mean. Like, I think that's why it grosses me out, maybe. Anyway, this book was terrible. It can't, I don't know. It was written like a juvenile. It was written like an 18-year-old wrote it. I'm going to quit before I say anything else that's going to, I don't know, get me in trouble. This book was not for me. Coming in at number 4 is Bring Down the Stars by Emma Scott. This book pissed me off like you would not believe. I cannot stand this book at all. So, let me just tell you, the entire point of this book is about a girl who is dating the wrong guy. And the right guy is the wrong guy's best friend. To me, that would be like reading the equivalent of a girl who's dating her best friend's ex-boyfriend. That's how wrong this book felt. I couldn't stand it. The entire book is about her dating the wrong guy. Who wants to read an entire book about that? I don't. Coming in at number 3 is 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Yes, I'm going there. I am so tired of this trope. I went into this blind, and it was just another one of those 5 Feet Apart or A Fault in Our Stars or any other YA contemporary sad romance. And I'm just over it. It wasn't that unique of a plot line. I thought it was way too similar to A Fault in Our Stars. I'm past that. Coming in at number 2 is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. This book was disgusting. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that love this and think that the sex scenes are just so hot. How can you? This is just disturbing. He refers to himself as 2 bats. And then he goes on and says, I'm sorry. I can't quit. He goes on to say that he's going to have her meet her God by having sex with him. Oh my gosh. And the amount of times that he called her baby girl or darling or whatever. This book was terrible. It was truly terrible. How in the world do you think this was good? I don't get it. Oh, I gotta quit. Oh, this book was terrible. It was, woo. I don't mean to offend anybody, but damn, this was the worst sex scenes, the most cringiest. You want to talk about hilariously bad sex scenes? Just go read Fix Her Up. No, even better, go listen to the audiobook. Then you can subject yourself to the torture I had to subject myself to. Oh, okay, moving on. Moving in at number 1. Sorry, still laughing about the last one. Moving in. Whew. Okay. Moving in at Oh, that book was so gross. Oh, okay. All right. I got this. Moving in at number 1, I have A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. Oh my goodness, guys, whenever I tell you that I hated this book, I hated this book. It made me scream, it made me cry, it made me want to throw something. And yes, there's probably a fine line between love and hate, and that's where I'm at with this book. But it's basically resting on hate, because I just didn't want to read it. I didn't want to keep going. There were so many parts that I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm not picking this shit up again. I'm done. And then I went back to it. So I did finish it. I still hate it. It's so frustrating. It's so beyond complicated. It is so beyond unnecessary. And I just cannot stand books that are that like it. Yeah, I hated this book. That's number one. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know what your the worst books that you read are. I'm sure that there are going to be plenty of people who disagree with me about some of these books, or think that some of my favorite books were some of their worst books. I'm sure that at least one book out of my very favorites, a lot of people were going to totally disagree with me on. So I get it. Everybody's different. That's why this Booktube group is so awesome, because we all have different opinions and we can all share them and have unique stories to tell and talk about the books that inspire us and are the bane of our existence. And it's just so much fun to be able to talk with you guys about this. So anyway, talk to me down below.